Welcome. My name is Virginia. I'm a QHHT practitioner and I'm based near Carre in the center of Brittany. I've made this video to help you prepare for your QHHT session so that you can make the best of it. Whether you have a session with me or any other practitioner, the advice is always going to be the same. So what you can do to prepare for your session is, first of all, think about what your intentions are, because your intentions are going to set what is going to happen during the session. So the idea is to go over what it is that you're currently experiencing in your life and make stock of what is joyful and happy and feels good and comfortable, and then what doesn't. And the idea is to focus on what doesn't and what you want to experience instead, and sort of make a list of what it is that you are experiencing that you wish you experienced in a different way. So this can be anything related to, any bodily discomforts. It can be family relationships or friendships, work, what your main activity is. It can be spiritual questions or, things that you wonder about. It could be really from any field of life, any habits that you have that you'd like to change because you feel they're not really the healthiest for you, any emotional hangups, any mental health issues that you might have, like anxiety or depression or PTSD or, addictions or insomnia, anything that's making you uncomfortable right now. Basically, you may take stock of that and make a list. And writing is nice because it means that you're getting you're writing it down, what it is that bothers you. And that sort of starts the process of healing, of reading it again and going, oh yeah, there is that going on. Wait, let me work on that. So that's the first thing you can do, is take stock of what's going on. Then you might want to look at what has been going on. Are there patterns? What happened in your past? And has it repeated up to today? What kind of an impact have your relationships had on you and your lifestyle, etc.? Like, basically look back, not just a picture of what's going on right now, but also at your life, kind of like a movie, and go from the start to finish and try to identify if there's anything that repeats itself or any discomforts that carry on, and see what impact on you or the people around you your habits have had. Have there been any traumas in the past that are still impacting you today and that you feel you're still sort of suffering from? Are there any relationships with people that have fizzled down or you still have, pain over, and where you would like to have closure, or if, you still holding grudges or anything that sort of carries, a weight or an emotional discomfort. And you can bring that to your practitioner, because that's very helpful for us to know, because our aim is to help you reach a state of well-being and of better being in a way. And for that, we need to know what it is that has happened to you in your life, what has impacted you in your life, what you're going through now, and what you wish to go through instead. Then the second thing you can do to prepare the session is to prepare for the state of relaxation that you're going to be in when you come for a session. Because hypnosis is very similar to guided meditation. It's just going towards relaxation and allowing your body, mind to relax and become comfortable and just prepare for sleep, but we stop just before. So listening to guided meditations, doing any meditation practice at all is helpful, but also you could do yoga nidra, relax with your breathing, or a physical activity, or practicing art, anything that gets you in this altered state of that's nice to have before a session. And another thing you can do is prepare your mindset. And the most helpful mindset for a QHHT session is to come in with a curious mind that is open for learning and growth, and just prepared for anything that might come, and come in going, I have no idea what's going to happen to me today, and this is fun and exciting, and I'm curious, and let's see what I can learn and how I can grow thanks to this experience. If you come in with your list of questions or themes that you want to talk about, and you've, practiced what it's like to feel relaxed and just go into this state of relaxation, listening to your breathing or doing this guided meditation, and you have this open, curious mindset, you've already done 90% of the work. Now, during the session itself, there are a few tips for you. first of all, talk completely freely to your practitioner. There is a culture of openness and acceptance and tolerance with QHHT. There is absolutely no judgment. It's really a place where you're going to be, a QHHT practitioner's office is a place where you're going to be welcomed and accepted exactly for who you are. Whatever you've gone through, whatever you've done, whatever your experience is, there is no place for shame or regret, or, I mean, you might experience these and that's fine. It's just, we're not going to make you feel that. We're not going to make you feel like there's any shame to be had or regret to be had, because you're going to be fully and wholeheartedly welcomed and accepted. So you can say anything. And also by now, I've pretty much heard it all about how people can be treated and what terrible things they can experience. So it's okay to talk about. You will be heard and validated in your experiences. And then after all this talking about what you've noted down and what your intentions for the session are, what you've lived through in your life and how it's impacted you, so we have a pretty long interview. The main advice for the moment when you're under hypnosis, when you've relaxed to the sound of my voice and gone to this place that is just before sleep but not quite yet, is to trust the very first thing that comes to mind. If it comes to mind, just trust it and talk about it. Just blabber on. Constant description of what it is that you're perceiving in whatever way it comes to mind. So what you experience when you are in a QHHT session is sort of like living a dream or remembering a memory. And you're going to, if you're a visual person, see some images just like a dream or a memory. Or you might have some, internal audition where you might hear people say things to you, just like, again, a dream or a memory, where you remember, oh yeah, she said this, you have that memory. Or you could smell things or sense things, even experience them like in a kinesthetic way, but it's not your body right now under hypnosis that's feeling it. It's in your dreamlike state of the hypnosis, as if you're remembering a nice hug. You can almost feel it, but of course you don't. That's sort of what you're going to go through. And you may have emotions that come up because you might revisit some memories that bring you joy, or that make you feel this huge sense of love or of loss or of anger. Like, you might have emotions. Most people do. And sometimes you also have some sensations, like little pins and needles or a bit of cold, and then you have the blanket that we put on you to help you feel a bit warmer. Or you might be too hot because there's a lot of energy going through, and then we'll help you out by removing the blanket, making you feel comfortable in any way. And if at any point it's not very comfortable for you, you also tell your practitioner, because we can make you more comfortable. The idea for us is to sort of hover over you like an overprotective mama and make sure you're comfortable the whole time. So if there's any discomfort of any kind, talk about it, and we'll make you more comfortable with it. And then, you say the first thing that comes to mind. Anything that you experience, trust that it's a valid experience to have. Talk about it in as much detail as possible, and just keep trusting that if you're there and you have listened to your practitioner, you've done the induction to just listen and relax, the first thing that comes to mind is valid. Trust that. That's the golden tip for a good session, is trusting the first thing that comes to mind and talking about it. And when you come back from the session, when you're fully awake, the idea is to re-evoke what you've just lived through, because it is just like a dream. And when you come back, you might forget everything about it. But if you re-evoke it upon awakening, you'll remember it for a much longer time, and you'll anchor what it is that you've learned. Because it is like a dream, and you tend to forget about it upon awakening, it is recorded. The hypnosis part is recorded. And the huge piece of advice for after the session is to listen to your recording again and again and again. Not just one time, again and again and again. You might want to listen to it one time, like taking notes with your conscious mind fully alert, to make sure that everything's like up in your conscious sphere. And then listening to it again in a state of light, altered consciousness, like when you're going to bed, you just put the tape on and you listen to it, or when you go for a walk, not when you're driving, because if you go back into a state of hypnosis and you're driving, that could be dangerous. But when you're a passenger in transportation, that could be nice. When you're painting or doing meditation, or any altered state of consciousness, basically, it's going to help the healing go deeper and faster. And any sense of well-being is going to be maximized if you listen again and again and again for, months and years, actually. You can have benefits from listening to your session 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later. Anytime you feel that like, oh, maybe I should listen to my session, it's been a while, listen to it and you will benefit from it. And last but most important piece of advice, when you go to your session, have fun. Just enjoy the process. It's a beautiful healing process and you'll get a ton out of it. Fully experience every moment of it, like, oh, this is happening. Wow. And whatever it is that happens in every session is different. So you can drop all your expectations because you never know what's going to happen. Just welcome it with open arms and that curious mind that I mentioned and enjoy it. Enjoy going through it because it is a fun experience.